Hello, welcome back. So there's the state of my self-portrait caricature at the moment, and I am about to move into, as it says there, the final stages, final layers. Now, Chris Payne does not anywhere demonstrate in any considerable detail how he does these final layers, so I'm very much on my own. He says he uses colored pencil, mostly the light shades, I believe, and acrylic glazes. So I'm going to, in fact, use my traditional acrylic glazes. I need a place to mix paints here. Okay. At the moment, I'm going to mix up some orange and some primary red to warm up this image a good bit. You know what? I need some medium, but I do not want gloss medium, so that won't work. Okay, I might run downstairs in a bit. In the meantime, I'll just use some water to make these acrylics. Then the first thing that needs to happen, the most obvious thing that needs to happen, comparing the my painting with the photograph, is that I need a lot more warmth in my painting. So I'm coming in here with a very delicate, the word would have to be wash. It really isn't a glaze. Very watered down acrylic. Pinkish. It's actually a little pink and a little orange mixed together. Yeah, good. Looks better already. Happy to say, looks better already. I'm just paying a lot of attention to my photograph here. Just really looking for subtle hints of, let me find another brush so that I can not be using whoops, there goes one brush on the floor. Not be using my finger to feather out edges here, but rather be using a dry brush. This is a lot of fun. It really is. Realism is just so much fun to me. Perhaps you've heard me say before, realism is easy. It really is so much easier than impressionistic painting. Because with impressionistic painting, you have to think about the shape of every stroke. With realism, you don't think about the strokes at all. You just copy what your eyes are looking at. And so it's quite relaxing. To me, feels a lot like doing a jigsaw. I like jigsaw puzzles. Very relaxing. Complete waste of time. Complete and utter waste of time. But lots of fun because it's just relaxing. And this feels very much the same kind of sensation to my brain. I wonder, and C.F. Payne, in one of his videos, he doesn't have much. He does mention that sometimes he uses an airbrush. And right at this moment, I am keenly aware that airbrush would be a really sweet way to accomplish what I'm doing right now of warming up bits of this image. This would be very easy to do with an airbrush. It would give you the advantage of nice soft edges. I'm not going to make you watch me do much of this. As if I can make anyone do anything. That's hilarious. I mean, this is going to get pretty tedious for any viewer, so I'll cut out and finish on my on my own in a minute. But let me just make sure you kind of know where I'm at if you're following me. So in fact, maybe I should do some right now. Let me do some colored pencil here in just a minute, so you can see how the process works. I think I'll probably do one more video on this illustration. I think. I'm not sure. So, phew, that was close. Almost let that acrylic lay there too long before I smoothed it out. Acrylics are like that, aren't they? Just, boy, oils are so much friendlier. So again, if I were to continue with this technique and make it my own, I would change this final layer to oils instead of acrylics. Oils in colored pencils instead of acrylics. It would be much, much easier to handle. I think probably the big part of the reason that Chris didn't do that, or CF Payne didn't do that, is because of deadlines. It had to be done, and not only done, but shipped, and in the mail, in the truck by 45 minutes from now. And it'd be pretty hard to ship a wet painting. So my guess is that's why one of the big reasons he opted for acrylics instead of oil in this final phase. I have no reason for knowing that, no way to know that. That's just a guess. I know he uses oils because in one of his other videos he published a book which I think I ordered the other day. Come to think of it, has not arrived yet. Tom Sawyer, beautiful, beautiful book, and I look forward to seeing it here when it arrives. And in that he uses a number of media, including oils. So it's not like he wasn't familiar with oil paints. But again, I think this final layer would be just a little bit easier to do in oils instead of acrylics. You can do realism with acrylics. You're arm wrestling the whole time. It's not its natural language. Now it's native tongue with acrylics. Well, okay. I said I was going to do a little bit of color pencil, so let's do some of that right now. Of course, I don't want to go straight to white. So let me grab a very pale flesh colored pencil. Most of these are Prismacolor, yeah. And for instance, the top of this cheek right here, I don't know if you'll even be able to see this. I guess you can. Here, let me zoom you in a little bit so you can see a little bit. Glenn Roop, oh my goodness, are you still watching, my dear old friend? Hey buddy, you want to arm wrestle? Wow, Glenn Roop, famous pole vaulter up in Kingsley, Michigan. What a delight to see your name, my friend. What fun. Happy memories with you guys. I've never forgotten you. Any of you. In fact, Glenn, if you're still watching, my wife and I were driving back from Charlotte today. Had a meeting down there, and I can't remember what made me do this, but I picked up my phone and I looked in Google Earth and I scoured Kingsley, Michigan and Google Earth. I looked at just about every bit of information that I could find. Anyway, so the rest of you, I'm having a love fest with my old friend Glenn. We were kids together. In my mind, he's still about 14 years old. Of course, I'm 16, so in his mind, yeah. He's wondering, could this be the same Dan Nelson I knew? It is, dude. Look at how old I got. Dang. How'd that happen? Oh, my goodness. So, in case any of you missed what I'm doing here, obviously this is a caricature of myself done in the style of a very famous illustrator named C.F. Payne. And I'm doing this for several reasons. One is because C.F. himself has not done a real good job of passing on his fabulous technique to the next generation. So I'm maybe help pick up the slack here and helping people learn how he did it. And the other reason is, of course, I just want to have this tool in my back pocket because you never know when I might want to just pop off an illustration in a technique very much like this. And that's all I'm going to say about that for right now. But don't be shocked if you see me eventually trying to do something with this technique, with this marvelous technique. And the layers are, again, in case the layers are, number one, pencil drawing, number two, an acrylic layer, translucent acrylic on top of the pencil, number three, watercolor on top of the acrylic, then watercolor lifted out with a damp brush. And then number four, an oil glaze. Oh, let's do this. Let me get a wet pencil. Let's do this reflection that's been bothering me the whole time. Let's get this thing up where it ought to be. Up, that means bright. Up means bright. Dark means down. And I did my first experiment in this technique about a week ago. Did a portrait of Tony Bennett, and the result was about a B+, I would give myself. I think this one is turning out better. And after I finish learning how to do this, of course, I'll modify it my own way, any way I want to. And then I want to master the technique of Drew Struzan. Some of you know Drew Struzan. Those two guys, the two of them, C.F. Payne and Drew Struzan, could conceivably be considered the two best illustrators in America, or the two most famous illustrators. Drew Struzan did most of the Indiana Jones movie posters and a whole bunch of other movie posters over the last 30 or 40 years. And so every American, unless you're Amish perhaps, every American has seen Drew Struzan's technique, and I want to learn it as well. For the same reasons. One is because it's fun to learn new stuff. Number two is because I will want to do so myself in their style. And number three, because I'm a teacher and I like teaching other people how to do stuff that I've learned. Okay, I'm going to stop there so you've seen. I'm going to go back and forth then between colored pencil, mostly light colored pencil, and very, very thin acrylic glazes. So there you go. That's kind of what it looks like. Let me see if I can bring you up close. Oh, you don't need any closer than that. Okay. It looks terrible in my viewfinder. I hope it looks better to you. It's not yellow like this in real life. On Facebook, I will definitely post a finished image here. But the next episode will be on YouTube, YouTube.com/Dan the Art Man, and that'll just be some finishing touches. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that.